Hello everyone, let me welcome you to this second episode of CL Uni-Verse, where we discuss about various top universities, and we have started discussing about ISB in the previous episode, where we had invited Mr. Venkatesh Chaturvedi, right, and we have had a wonderful discussion with him last time. We all know Mr. Venkatesh is an alumnus of IIT Patna and ISB Hyderabad. So, Mr. Venkatesh, welcome to the episode.
Glad to be back here for the second episode. Yeah.
So, continuing from the previous discussion, there are various questions which came to my mind after we completed the discussion. So, the first thing that I want to ask you is, as a student, what is the feeling like during ISB, and what will a student gain at ISB? Which is different from other universities, the other top MBA institutes in India.
Right. I think a very, very interesting question, right? Because as we know that ISB is a one-year program, right? And therefore, we have a habit of calling it a year of transformation. It indeed is a year of transformation because of the kind of rigorous curriculum as well as extracurriculars that you get exposed to. Right, and therefore, it's a very unique experience to be part of ISB, wherein I call it as a roller coaster ride, because there are ups and downs, and there's a journey and a cycle of emotions that one goes throughout that one complete year, because it's a power-packed MBA course that you're exposed to, right? Yeah.
So academically, how is it? So what is a student gaining out of the program, which is different, as I said, from other MBA institutes?
Yes, right. So, essentially there are, a lot of courses, just like any other MBA, curriculum that you get exposed to. In the initial 4 terms, you get exposed to some of the mandatory courses, which are, for everyone, going to be the same. Subsequently, you are exposed to some elective courses. So, it's a mix of, some fixed courses and some elective courses. The very unique thing is that there are a lot of and plethora of options available from Indian and global professors that you can kind of pick and choose amongst the electives, and right. That makes the whole curriculum very unique. Some of the courses are so out of the so just to give some example of unique courses that you get exposed to as electives. So one I remember is a rural marketing course by Professor D.V.R. Sheshadri. A big fan of his courses. It focuses on how to market products and services to the rural setting, because generally the focus on most of the FMCG companies is on the urban, is what the assumption is. Absolutely. amongst the people. But it's a very unique experience to understand how, say, you want to position tractors to a farmer in a rural setting.
The market is in the bottom of the pyramid, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that is one of the courses which I found very, very, extraordinary out there. Another course I remember is taught by Professor Edward Rogers, who is from NASA, and he teaches managing complexity.
Wow.
Right. So that course, brings about a plethora of new understanding of solving complex problems, such as how a space program runs, like taking as that as an example, right? So so these courses are very, very unique, and therefore bring a novel approach to the pedagogy of MBA, along with the fact that it's completely case-based curriculum that ISB follows.
Right.
So a lot of B schools out there might focus on some regimented courses, books, and theoretical understanding is bestowed upon people. But here in ISB, very, very, very much like other B schools, you get exposure to case-based curriculum, where exclusive cases are curated for the course. In fact, one of the things which I like about ISB is that most of the cases are also not just copied and pasted from the global B schools, right. But there are professors working on indigenous India-based cases.
Wow.
Which is very unique, I feel. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So one of the important parts of an MBA education in India specifically, right, is the internship program.
Right.
The SIP, as we call it, right, which is a 2-month program where people go to the actual company for a project or for training or for some kind of an internship.
Sure.
So how does ISB manage this in 1 year, or is it even there?
Right. So the summer internship program, of course, because of the paucity of time and it being just a 12-month course, is not there. Okay. There's no dedicated time of 1, 2, or 3 months that a person goes out, goes to industry and comes back to college, right? But the alternatives which are available are plethora of, are plenty. So the options which are available are plenty. For instance, there is an ELP program, right? The experiential learning program, in which you get mapped to one of the companies which is running something like a live project on campus. And in your spare time, apart from academics, on weekends, you get to basically work for a particular company and get an experience of working with them on some work stream or a project that company might be working upon. Similarly, there are pro bonos, right? So pro bonos, ELPs are two major things which kind of replace the concept of internships at ISB, right, and give you an industry experience.
And again, just taking it from there, curiosity, kind of a question. All the top institutes which are giving you 1 year MBA or executive MBA courses would also not have an SIP, right?
Yes, exactly. So that's part and parcel of the fact that a 1 year course cannot accommodate that flexibility of.
Fair enough, but I think they found a way.
Yes, precisely.
Okay. Yeah. So what other value propositions can we say that ISB sort of has, right, which are over and above the other, top B schools in India?
Got it. Right. So for the viewers, I think we have been mentioning a lot of academics, and people might feel that there's a lot of studies, there's a lot of pressure of scoring high grades, and I must say that is true, right? There's a lot of there's a lot of competition, because the brightest and the best minds out there are running for the best jobs or the best grades on campus. But that does not take away from the fact that there is a plethora of extracurricular and outside academic opportunities available at ISB. Just to quote a few, right? You have a lot of clubs. You have professional clubs, as well as you have a lot of cultural and sports clubs, so to say, and therefore you get exposure to kind of bond with your cohort members. Say for under consulting club, under marketing club, under public policy club, on the fun side of things, you get to bond on something like a dance club, a music club, right? Apart from that, you also have an opportunity to play something like so if you're a sports lover, right, there's a something known as ISL. Right, and I've been playing ISL since the last 3 years now, which essentially is a IPL form of auction-based sports tournament panning across 3 months, and alumni as well as the current batch students play in different teams out there. So basically, one of the things that I kind of find very unique, just taking this as an example, is that whatever ISB brings to the table to the students and the alumni is so out of the ordinary and extraordinary and unique that it gives a very good experience, be it sports, be it academics, be it dance, drama, music.
So you make it sound so much fun that I want to now probably try for an ISB admission. So okay. Now, I'm sure the viewers have this question right away, because you mentioned ISL and how you are a part of it, right? So what are the benefits of associating with ISB after the course is over?
Great question, because a lot of time you feel that 1 year is done, 1 saal ho gaya hai, maybe you are then disconnected from the college, maybe college is not taking care of you, and so on and so forth. But believe me, ISB takes care of its alumni a lot, So there's this, saying from which gets passed on from one batch to another, that alum Bhagwan hai, right? And that actually is very, very true, because and I'll tell you why. Because one of the culture which ISB has been able to cultivate in the last 20 years is that every batch gets a lot of help from the alumni, cohort. So I would proudly say that if a current batch student texts an alumni on LinkedIn or any other social media platform, 8 out of 10 of them would reply and help you out. And because that culture has developed, right? ISB also therefore takes care of their alumni in several ways. As I mentioned, if you are into sports, there's ISL that you can participate. You can play cricket, ultimate frisbee, football, and 15 other sports. Right. If you want to take care of help of the CAS, or the Career Advancement Service, or the Placement Committee, as we call there. So your job opportunities are also available for the alumni. There's a complete job portal of ISB which whichever batch of ISB you have graduated from, you can always get new job postings there.
Okay.
Right. Apart from that, there's a network of web chain where 15,000 plus alumni are currently present. So if you want to seek help on any matter, you can always shoot an email. Someone or the other will help out. I remember, just to quote a few very interesting examples, there were a lot of people who were kind of, sharing the World Cup tickets when the World Cup was out. There were a lot of people who were talking about, helping each other out on, getting a new home, a rented accommodation. So all kind of that support system has been created, within the alumni community by the college and by the alumni for themselves as well.
Wow.
And then you basically get mapped to different chapters, city chapters, global chapters of ISB. And therefore you can, there are a lot of offline events organized, say in Delhi, in Bangalore, in Los Angeles, in different cities by ISB officially, so that you can come and meet and kind of still be bonded to the school.
Wow,
Yeah.
superb. So then my next question is, again, you've already treaded there,
Yeah.
but how does a student sort of realize that he is a good fit for ISB? How does a student know that? Or what are the parameters on which a student may decide, a working executive may decide that I am a right aspirant for ISB as a brand?
Got it. Right. I think I will be able to express this with a few examples, but let me, before I get into examples, just talk a few things in general, about what should a person look at while applying to ISB, and what kind of things that I feel would be a great value add for them. So I think the very fact that ISB has working professionals, right, ranging from 2 years to 20 years, right, is testimony to the fact that you get a diverse range of people to interact with, right, and therefore that itself is a great motivation for people with diverse backgrounds, work experience, different expectations to come to ISB, right? So it's not going to be a one fits all curriculum for you or an experience for you. And therefore what I also kind of strongly believe in is the fact that journey of every ISB student is very different from each other.
Right.
So some people, say, coming with 8-9 years of experience may, say, get a VP role after ISB, right? Some people coming with 2-3 years experience may get, say, a senior associate or a consultant role in consulting, for example, right? So the idea is that there's everything for everyone, right? Even so, and just to quote a few examples of very diverse kind of students who have been part of ISB, right? There have been national level sports players, like for example, there's Ajay Jayaram from the class of 23, who happens to be, so now he's retired from badminton, but till about a few years back, he was ranked number 1 globally. I mean, ranked number 1 in India for badminton, and he was globally ranked 13 in badminton, and he represented India in different places, and he's right now working at McKinsey. So can you just imagine that a sports person came to ISB, is now at McKinsey doing consulting, right? So therefore the range of experiences is varied, and therefore there's everything for everyone is what I would say.
So are we saying that there is nothing like a best fit?
Exactly.
And anyone can try and get into ISB.
Exactly. And that is why the school strongly believes in diversity, because they know that they can get people to switch jobs, to switch functions, to kind of tread into the same industry, grow as a leader, and whatnot. And therefore, it will be very unfair for me to say that, only these kind of people should apply to ISB.
So, the natural question that follows from what we just discussed is, if a student has 2 or 3 years of experience in his own family business, does that act as a detriment to his admission at ISB? Or because we don't have documentation, the right documentation is not available for a person who's working in his own business. Right? A working professional in a job has his salary slips and his offer letters and his appointment letters and stuff like that. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, so it's not a detriment. So, in a nutshell, there's nothing stopping a family business person and applying, to ISB. Even for that matter, if you're not completely on a full-time payroll, ISB is very, very, very flexible on the matter of the kind of employment that you are involved in. So they take care of freelancing, they take care of people doing their own businesses, they take care of your contractual work, and therefore in the application you will find a lot of options available, for considering all these kind of engagement in terms of employment opportunity, because what they intrinsically believe is that whatever you have done, if it is adding value to a particular business or creating value, or you are impacting people's life in some way or the other, it should be valued as good as a full-time employment. Right? And therefore they take care of these matters by asking for your income tax returns and so on and so. There's a lot of different kind of documentation.
So there are ways to prove that you've worked somewhere.
You worked somewhere.
And you need not have a salary slip or a appointment letter, so to say.
Correct.
Or an experience letter.
Yeah, and to add to that, I think generally a follow-up question on this for a lot of people is that there's also a recommendation that one has to give. Right? And I'm working in a family business. Do I ask my father to give a recommendation letter? Right? So the answer is that there are a lot of clients that you might have. There are a lot of vendors that you might be working with. So those become a very, very legible people who
source of letters of recommendation.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's nothing stopping you from applying if you're a family business person.
Right. Yeah. Great. So that gives a lot of insight. So now the next question that is a very natural one again. Is, let's say I have an experience of 4, 5 or 6 years in IT and I want to probably go into marketing and finance.
Got it.
Or I have an experience in a bank and I want to get into IT. Right. However, right. So how difficult or different or how possible is it to sort of transition into a different career?
Right. See, I wouldn't say that it is very easy, right? Because of the fact that you have to make an effort to make the transition. But ISB definitely gives those opportunities to you. Now it is up to you that what efforts do you make to make those transitions. So it's not like that just because you have gotten into ISB, you will get a transition without making any effort towards understanding the new industry or preparing for the interviews for a particular specific industry or role. The official statistics of ISB themselves say that about 66 to 70% of people have either changed functions or have changed their industries. Right. So there's a lot of intersection of people who would have changed both. People might have come from, say, a marketing background in, say, FMCG and would have gone into, say, consulting domain in, governance consulting or something like that. So therefore, there are a lot of, and these are not just sporadic examples that I'm giving. Right, there are bulk of people who kind of transition, and therefore this is something which happens very.
So it is possible.
It is possible.
It is not uncommon.
It's not uncommon,
but it's not very easy.
It's not very easy because you have to make an effort either through the experiential learning program or through pro bonos or through case competitions to develop that muscle to be considered in interviews by those companies. Essentially, yeah.
You have to show the fit.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So with this, we come to the end of the episode, this one, Venkatesh. And as always, it was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah.
Right? So with this, we come to the end of the second episode. We have been discussing about ISB at CL Uni-Verse with Mr. Venkatesh. Stay tuned for the third episode. See you on the other side. You may like, share and subscribe to this channel for more such videos. The link is in the description below in case you have any more queries. Thank you.